So YouTube is this amazing website where anyone from all over the world, wherever you are, they can post videos up on it, and people find themselves on this website for hours on end because it's pretty much really addicting, because you can watch a video and then on the side they'll have other videos that kind of relate to the one you're watching. So people will watch their video and then they'll see something that catches their eye, and then they'll be like, oh, I want to watch that. So then they start watching that. Then they finish that one, and then they see another video, and they're like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I'm going to watch that one too. And then before they know it, they're on YouTube for hours, maybe days. My friend one time was watching YouTube for about 4 hours, and then we found him just asleep on his desk. We thought he was dead, but it turns out he was just watching YouTube. So that is why YouTube is very addicting.
Facebook is a social networking site that is constantly changing. Every time you log on, there's new posts, new pictures, new friends are online. So every time you go on, there's something different, something new to look at, and different people to talk to. It's a way to have communication between friends that are far away and friends that are close. So you can interact with your friends without actually being their friends. So old friends that you don't have time to talk to, you can still know what's up with their life and know what's going on without having that one-on-one conversation. But if you do choose to have that one-on-one conversation, you can always do a little Facebook chat. Facebook chat, you can communicate with certain friends, and when they log off, you can still communicate during messages. So there's always something to do, always something new, and you can end up being on Facebook for hours. That's why it is so addicting.
Texting interferes with one's life because texting has many outcomes. You see many people texting all the time, if it's at a store, if it's at anywhere, basically. Texting can be fatal at times. If, for example, if you are driving and texting, and it can be for a good cause. For example, if you work for whatever job requires texting, then you are most likely to be texting. So that wouldn't be considered an addiction. But for like the people at the stores and stuff that are just texting with no purpose, just to communicate non-verbally, then that would be considered an addiction. Texting also interferes with one's life because not everyone communicates non-verbally now. It's harder to communicate from person to person instead of texting.
I think that online gambling has a major negative impact on people's lives. For one example, if you're addicted to online gambling, you'll begin to spend more money on the gambling and going online than paying your bills or feeding your kids, and it'll just become more important to you than that. Also, there has been many more reports for credit card theft and identity theft by using the online gambling sources than going in personally to gamble. And basically it's very time consuming, and online gambling has many negative aspects, and you shouldn't get into that.
Determining that you are addicted to social networking depends on how much you use a computer. If you're on your computer on the social networking for more than 6 hours, then you have an addiction, in my belief. But there is some exceptions. Say, for example, college students are on the internet more than 6 hours, but they're looking up scholarly information. Also, I understand that there's families across town, and you need to communicate with them between Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, and all, etc. But if you're on Facebook for more than 6 hours throughout the entire day, just checking your status, checking everybody else's status, looking at pictures, if you're on Twitter tweeting, then you have an addiction.
Tumblr, like many other social networking sites, can be addicting because there are many things that you can post on there. You can post blogs, texts, pictures, and other stuff like that, and your friends can look at them. You can also view other things that other people have posted on there, and you can unknowingly spend hours on there looking at whatever people have posted.
According to specialists, what qualifies one as an addictive shopper is one who spends what they cannot budget, shopping for hours and not being content. Online shopping is one way for people to cope with stress, anxiety, depression, and pure happiness. Addiction can also vary, being hours on end or small increments of time for consecutive days.
Internet addiction can have a negative effect on your social life because you can be in your room all day on Tumblr or Facebook or social networking sites or online gaming or online shopping, and if you spend all day in your room, you can cause yourself to have self-inflicted social isolation, and then you're away from everybody and you're not developing social skills and you don't know how to make friends, or if you do have friends, they're mostly online. And also, if you're like an online gamer, or like if you're on Facebook and you do like Farmville or something, you can spend all your real money on fictional stuff that you don't get any profit for.